Krakadas Brakatam. Kahalalim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakahakwadash, double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and much peace to the elect, the 144,000 men, the servants, the prophets of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and to the rest of the elect, the one third, men, women, and children, you sincere believers scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to you I say Shalom. And I just wanted to tap into this word real quick, interoperability,
Interoperability.
you know, and this pretty much goes into these national databases linking together, you know, to create that that one world digital system. Okay, so it says interoperability is the ability of different computer systems, software, apps, or devices to connect, share data, and work together easily. Now, a few things sparked this lesson, and I just came across the word, right? And it says, let me just get this real quick. Key areas is technology and software. Programs use shared rules or APIs so data moves smoothly between different brands, and this is a whole, you know, agenda of the elites because the elites give out their instructions to the United States of America, which is Babylon the Great, Turkey, China, Russia. They all take instructions from the elites. And a one world government, Agenda 2030 is something that they are moving swiftly towards, right? And interestingly enough, I went to PriceSmart like a few weeks ago, and they now require you to present your ID along with your membership card to shop at their store. Now, this is all leading into this digital world system, man. This is what the devil wants to do because you had the controversy in the state of New York, in the city of New York City, where people were, coming against the idea that, they'll be requiring you to present an ID to shop at a grocery store. And they were like, no, it's just a library esque card, like a membership card, so that they can prevent people from reselling. That's how they put it. And they said that it won't require ID, but it will eventually get to that point because that's what the digital world system requires. Okay, it requires you to have everything digital, your IDs and your money. So cash will be done away with, and it will be digital currencies, and your digital ID will be tied to your digital currency. You know, and all of these different international bodies, the UN and the World Banks, they will take charge of setting these rules, and giving the management standards. As it says here, the programs use shared rules and APIs so data moves swiftly. So the UN, you know, United Nations, and these different world banks, the elites, they are the ones that are gonna set the rules. Okay, point blank period. Let me see what it says about healthcare. It says patient records pass safely from one doctor's office to another hospital. So they're gonna package this as something very beneficial, right? And I don't have a lot of precepts here, man. This doesn't really need a load of precepts, but this is what the devil is doing, man. And it says in Corinthians, don't be ignorant to his fucking schemes, man. And yeah, his schemes. That's the perfect word. And his devices, because he has a lot of evil schemes, man. He uses gradualism on a high demonic level. He repackages his different approaches, and he just attacks the mind of the people. By in his media, in news, what he releases. He tracks the social media to see where your head is at, like how you respond to this. And the biggest one, of late is the whole 91 uppercut booster drink. That he had the whole world deceived with, and had the whole world pretty much take that uppercut, man. Voluntarily, you know volunteer to get punched in your face, pretty much, man. You know what I'm trying to say. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, and it says, "Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them, the presence of Yahweh. Woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil, the so called white man, Esau, Edom, has come down to you in great wrath, knowing that he has only a short time remaining." So Esau knows he has a short time remaining. He has a short time to fulfill the instructions that the elites have given them. And they have a deadline. And agenda, 2030 is a hint at that deadline. So they're trying to get things wrapped up by the year 2029. The world is going to be in a different place in 2 years, 2.5 years from now, because the year 2030 is when certain things are going to already be in place, man. That's where they want to fully, go digital, and so on and so forth. You know, we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua what they're planning to do, as it says in Revelation chapter 13, and on down, 16 on down, if you want to start there. Tells you about the times that are coming where Esau, Edom, so-called white man, he's gonna make it mandatory. He's gonna mandate, the buying and selling. He's gonna have a requirement for buying and selling. You're not gonna be able to buy or sell, buy and sell, whatever, without having this mark, without having this digital mark implanted underneath your skin or in your head. Okay, and this device is what's going to be connected, to this interoperability system database that has everything linked. So if you go to China, you go to Russia, you go to Jamaica, you go to Canada, you go to the United States, everything is linked. So you can buy or sell normally and conveniently. This is how he's going to package it, but this is at the detriment of your spirit, you know, pledging allegiance to Esau, Edom, and his system, to the devil, Satan, and spiritual demon Satan. Okay, because their God is a spiritual demon Satan. So when you take that mark, you're pledging allegiance with him. You're pledging allegiance with money, because the love of money is the root of all evil. So a lot of you people are going to sell out and forsake your power, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, and ultimately he's rejected you because you're not of the elect. And you're going to take the mark because you want to continue living in this world. So again, it says, "Therefore rejoice, O heaven, and you that dwell in them, in the presence of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil has come down to you in great wrath, knowing that he has only a short time." Right? He's coming down fast, man. And he's doing everything in the media right now, you know, releasing all of these different articles and different news skits talking about these different plans that he has. You have not Esau, well, he's Esau. You have Elon Musk and Bill Gates with their BCIs. They do a lot of videos and content releasing information about what they're doing. Likewise, these different, ID and digital banking plans are pushed on the media as well. I'm trying to say this as eloquently as possible. But the idea is that they use the media as a was one of their main forms of witchcraft to introduce what they're planning to do, because through media they brainwash you, they get you used to what they're going to do. So when they make a rule or introduce a rule or a law, you're going to just take a few months or a year to get used to it, and then you're just going to stop worrying about it, because that's how you fucking heathen and gentile minded Israelites think, right? Because a lot of Israelites are in the same mindset as these actual Gentiles, living like them, thinking like them. That's why when the chariots come, they're going to be shocked, because they have a Gentile mindset. They haven't been brought back into the fold because they're not of the elect. So they're going to get destroyed with the heathen, because that's their lot. Their lot is to be destroyed. As it says here, man, they're going to be devoured. And a lot of them are going to take the sea hip, and they're going to be devoured as well. They're going to either be devoured by the fire, devoured by, different, boils or infections from getting these implants, or just by Jacob's trouble, man. Because having the mark is not going to save you. It's not going to save you from an inmate that's released from prison, because hell is going to break loose. Shit is going to hit the fan, and there's going to be a lot of prisoners that are going to, a lot of prisoners are going to escape in the times to come, you know. And they're gonna be on smoke. They're gonna have spirits of vengeance in them. The spirit of vengeance are reserved for that time. So the mark of the beast, taking a device so that you can buy and sell and take care of your family, and so that you can go to the doctor. You may be sick, you may be ill, and you need to get medical care. You know, a lot of people that walk normally on the streets and they seem fine, they have a lot of illnesses, man, and they need medication. So they're gonna take the mark just because of that reason too. But that doesn't justify. You're gonna have people with sick children that they have to get them their children medication, and in order for them to do that, they have to take the mark, and so on and so forth, man. There's so many, situations where it seems like it's the least you could do to save your child or save yourself, and none of these things are going to excuse the judgment, man, the fire, all right, and the destruction that is coming to you, man, the torment. Okay, nothing is going to justify you in the times to come, man. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of the times of the faithful, and trusting in Yahweh Hashem Shai, praying and believing in Yahweh Hashem Shai, and the power of Yahweh Hashem Shai to deliver us in these times, in those times, because Yahweh Hashem Shai is the author of everything, right? So we have nothing to worry about, because we believe in the one and only true God, who the world calls God. His name is Yahweh. And trusting in Yahweh in the times to come is the best thing that you can ever do. I mean, at all times, trusting in Yahweh, Shemel Shai, is the best thing you can ever do, but especially in the time of the hour of temptation, right? When everything is on a interoperability system. Interoperability system. Let's play that word.
Interoperability.
Interoper
Interoperability.
interoperability, right? So everything is gonna be in an interoperability system, man. Every single thing. And these world banks are gonna dictate the standards, right? For healthcare, for banking, public service, public safety, police and fire and radio connect on the same channels during emergencies. See? So this is nothing new, man. You learn a new word every day. English has different words that go into the same shit. Why it matters: saves time, stops people from entering the same data twice. This is ultimate control, man. Reduces costs, because he wants to be like the Most High, right? Reduces costs, helps old and new tools work as a team, builds trust, makes sharing information safe and clear. This is what Esau wants to do. So I'm gonna leave it there, man. This video was not meant to be this long. But as always, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakahakwadash. Shalom to the elect only.